Guys, we are back for another exciting episode of the Hashtag Wednesday Match Play, and I am pumped for tonight because this concept, this product, this project, that's going to make sense here in a little bit, is more than just golf. And it's cool because it's not a typical product that we have here on the Wednesday Match Play, but it's a product that is relevant to a lot of people, myself included. Literally on Sunday, I broke my last pair of sunglasses, and I say last because I used to have a collection of them, and I had to play golf without them. And not that I enjoyed the round without them, but it was different. But I felt like I saw better. But that's beside the point. So this comes at a good time because I need some sunglasses, and I'm excited to learn more about this project. And I told you that was going to make sense. The Rudy Project is who we have on the show tonight, and I don't know where they came from. I don't know how they got involved. But these guys are just crushing it with social media on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and now Google Plus because we have them on the show. And Simone is with us from the Rudy Project, and I'm not even going to begin to try to explain what the project is. So we just jumped on an elevator. Introduce yourself, introduce the product, and project. Tell us who it is, and tell us why you're on the show. And hey, welcome to the Wednesday Match Play.
Thanks, Ricky. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. So Rudy Project is, it's actually just Rudy Project, not the Rudy Project, as much as we'd like to put the article in front of us. But Rudy Project is an Italian designer and manufacturer of sunglasses. And so that sounds really simple, but Rudy Project started in 1985 by a guy named Rudy Barbaza. And it was Rudy's project to create the best possible eyewear that he could. And what he ended up doing was he had a bet with a friend that he couldn't create a good pair of glasses. So what he did was he created an amazing pair of sunglasses that, combined sort of like award-winning features on the frame, along with really superior optics that were have placed a lot of emphasis on clarity and not fogging, and that's where Rudy Project came from. So since then, he's kind of continued. He's passed the company over to his two sons, Simone and Cristiano. So they're based in Italy. They have a gentleman named David who is the eyewear designer. He's the eyewear designer, and together they all produce Rudy Project sunglasses, and we are the North American representatives for the brand. So I'm really excited to be here this evening and to tell you guys about the sunglasses that we make, and how they can make your game better.
Very cool. Well, we're going to talk about the multitude of sports and activities that you make sunglasses for, but let's start with a couple of questions from Eat Sleep Golf. The Hashtag Wednesday Match Play is presented by Eat Sleep Golf, and they usually send in a bunch of good questions. Well, tonight I'm pretty sure we hit 2 pages of questions because we have 11 questions from them, and I've got a whole bunch of my own. So we'll try to rush through these, and I can't promise we get through them all. But one of the things that comes up a lot on the website, and just as you're looking at sunglasses, I mean, I talk about the sunglasses that I had that broke. They were very cheap. They were free, quite frankly, and there was nothing more than just frames on some what do you call those? I don't even know. I want to say rims, but they're not rims. What do you call those?
Frames on. Which part are you talking about?
Lenses on frames. There you go.
These are your temple arms and your frames and your lenses.
See how much I'm learning already? Like, we just got started. Like, that's crazy. Okay. So one of the questions that Eat Sleep Golf had was, there are several lens technologies listed on the website. Can you talk a little bit about the different technologies and how they are worked into the lenses? And are these technologies proprietary to Rudy Project?
Yeah, of course. So the lens technology that we're most proud of is our Impact X and Impact X2 photochromic technology. So Impact X is a proprietary technology of ours. And the beautiful thing about Impact X lenses, and I have a couple right here. These are our photochromic ones. Here we go. The beautiful thing about our Impact X lenses is that they are 10% lighter than polyurethane, and the material is really easy to work with, and we can give them a number of different tints that allow different levels of light transmission. So we have upwards of 30 lens colors and tints available for our sunglasses. For example, the Ride-On, this frame, which has these very small, narrow temple arms, we have 30 lens options for this. So depending on what your lens needs are, Impact X is probably going to be there for you. Not all of our lenses are Impact X, but the big thing about Impact X is that you could probably back a truck over them and they wouldn't break. So if they fell off your face, or I'm not sure if you broke your frames or your lenses, but if you're wearing Impact X or Impact X2, that's not going to happen. So we used to go to shows. We used to go to sort of like trade shows and that kind of thing, and we would give somebody a hammer and put the truck keys next to the lens, and we would give them a hammer and say, okay, if you can break the lens with the hammer, you can take the truck home. And we would have people all day sort of like banging away crazily on our desk, and people are kind of like looking over like, why are you making a racket? And they couldn't break the lenses. So that's how durable these lenses are. And then when you start to look at our Impact X2 photochromic technology, this lens is clear right now because it's not activated. But when you take it out into the sun, it gets darker. And so that's really handy, especially if you're playing in, if you're playing or performing in different changing light conditions. Clouds are going across the sky. It's getting late in the day. You're still going. The sun gets lower. It gets a little darker. You still want to be able to see, but you don't want to have to worry about taking your sunglasses off your face. So they're a really versatile lens technology. And the crazy thing about these is that the photochromic particles are actually embedded in the lens. A lot of other brands, a lot of other technologies tend to they'll put a coating on there, and our photochromic particles are actually embedded in the lens, which gives them a pretty long life. So we also have a replacement lens guarantee, so a lifetime replacement lens guarantee. So if you ever scratch your lenses, or if you happen to break them, or if you scratch, I think it's just if you scratch them, if you scratch your lenses, you can send them back to us and we'll send you a new pair for shipping and handling.
So the glasses that I broke, and it was about the 8th pair of glasses that I broke. Until tonight, I didn't know that those were called temple arms. So not only have I learned that this evening, those literally broke like on the last 3 pair. Like the glasses were super cheap. So I need to just figure out how to justify investing in a nicer pair of sunglasses. So it's that, not the frames. And quite frankly, the frames could be just worthless. So I don't even like the fact that the amount of technology you just talked about is so far above the glasses that I've thrown. And I feel bad throwing them away. And I'm like, the glasses were free and I'm going to be sad throwing them away. But so you're all about social media. You guys are all over, like I said, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Tell me about the hashtag Rudy World. What is that all about?
The hashtag what? Sorry?
Rudy World. It's on the website. And I didn't do the research, but I wanted you to tell me about it.
Gotcha. Okay, so Rudy World is more of a global hashtag as far as I understand it. We don't use it a ton. We tend to use Rudy Project NA, and that's all of our North American athletes, like our Canadian and American, and athletes in the Caribbean. And I think Rudy World is a little bit more representative of our global athletes and our, like our Tour de France team, athletes that we have racing in, triathlons in Beijing. That's the hashtag that we use to kind of denominate them.
Really cool. So I've been to France, but that's about it. I took a tour of France. That's about as much as I do on a bike. Now, where are the glasses manufactured? And I have a guess, but you could shock me here.
The glasses are manufactured in Italy.
That is not what I expected you to say. So you have shocked me. Now, is that because of the history of the company and where the company was founded, or is it? I mean, I expected you to say China just because I feel like anything that's produced has got a sticker on the side of it that says manufactured or produced in China. So is that the reason why it's in Italy?
Yeah, we're very proud of our Italian heritage, and we truly think that the manufacturing in Italy, it just gives our glasses that extra kind of like, you pick up a pair of our glasses, and they just give it that kind of like extra heft, like, these are special. Like, I don't want to leave these. I don't want to leave these on a table or, on the top of the bar or anything. Like, I am going to hang on to these and I'm going to keep these. And so I really think that kind of extra level of quality is thanks to the manufacturing in Italy.
Okay, so 2-part question. 1, where can I buy these glasses? Because like I'm so impressed already. But then 2, I guess it's a 3-part question, because where can I buy them? What is the most affordable pair, and what is the most expensive pair?
Okay. Yeah. So so as far as where you can buy them in a couple places. We have a number of preferred dealers all over the United States and in Canada, and you can locate a dealer by going to rudyprojectusa.com. Or what you can do is you can go online. If you know exactly what you want, or you have a pretty good idea of what you want, you can buy them direct online at e-rudy.com. And then you wanted to know the cheapest and the most expensive pair. Is that what you wanted to know?
I'm curious.
Okay, so it depends on what you want. We have a casual line that starts at 175, or excuse me, 100, depending on what you get, 150 to $175. For example, this is our air grip. This is our new one of our new 2017 models. It's a little bit of a more basic model. And it has these photochromic, or it has these photo clear lenses on them. These are not our best lens, but they definitely have, I think. These start at 150, or you can go up and get a nicer lens, and those start at 175. We also have a casual line that starts at 175. If you're looking at a sport pair with interchangeable lenses like our Ride-On, you're probably looking at $200 to start, and then it goes up depending on whether or not you want to get really nice lenses like the photochromic lenses. Those tend to be more expensive. The nice thing, and then if you get them prescription, all of our glasses are fully RXable. Then the price does go up, but fortunately, your health insurance sort of kicks in at that point because they're a medical device.
I don't have prescriptions, so maybe I should get them so my insurance can help justify the higher end stuff. I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I can go like the whole sport thing just to play golf on the weekends, but maybe I could talk my insurance into.
Well, I like to think that our glasses are versatile enough that you can wear them on and off the course. But our most expensive pair of sunglasses is this little beauty right here. This is a foldable pair of sunglasses.
What?
Yeah, so they fold in half at the nose bridge, and then they fold back, and the temple arms fold out, and then you have a full pair of glasses.
That is crazy. I'm pretty sure those are like Transformers. I've never seen something like that. That's
pretty cool, yeah. And then they come in this sweet little hard case, so they're well protected. So those are probably one of our most expensive pairs. They start at $400, and then we also, if you're really like feeling flush with cash, we have a special edition Ride-On sunglass that I believe we're discontinuing, but that has it's got 24 karat gold mirrored lenses, and I think that starts at $500.
So I don't know if you watch a lot of YouTube videos, but 2 Chainz is a rapper, and he does this video series that's called "The Most Expensive Is," you know what I'm gonna say. And I feel like he should come and try on some of your glasses. Like he's had like ridiculously overpriced water, and he pet this like super expensive cat. But I'm so enthralled by this video channel because it's like he's just dealing with things that are so out of this world. And again, free sunglasses versus 500. So he and I should hang out. So now one of the things this immediately makes me think of, and I'm glad Eat Sleep Golf brought this up, and they said that we had one of your retail partners on a previous episode of the hashtag Wednesday Match Play, SportRx. They're a very good friend of the folks at Trone. So do you know the team at SportRx? And I almost think that might be a little competition, or is it not? Or do you guys in that space all play well together? Kind of just talk about SportRx and all of the other potential competitors that might exist.
So you mean competition in terms of where people are buying from, or
maybe so like SportRx sells prescription sunglasses, and you sell prescription sunglasses. So how are you different or better or indifferent than a SportRx? And as the technologies that goes into the glasses, just I would always like, I guess, just sitting here thinking about it, like, because I know the SportRx brand, and I wasn't as familiar with yours, and it seems there's a lot of similarity to the two.
Yeah, of course. So I'm not intimately familiar with the SportRx relationship. I'm relatively new. I've only been with the company for a couple months. But as far as the relationship goes between us and any of our retail partners or our dealers, I think it really comes down to the consumer and what they prefer. So if somebody wants to try the product on, if they want to really experience the product and see how it fits on their faces, you know, I think our dealers are an excellent place to go, and it's really easy to locate them. And if you really want that, level of service that our dealers can all give you in terms of selecting your frames, selecting the correct lenses for you and everything, that's really, I think, like the red carpet treatment. For our consumers who feel like they're more confident in their buying decisions, or they've bought our or they're very familiar with it, then they would feel comfortable probably buying online. But I really think it comes down to the consumer and their preference. So, and I know that people still really like to try the gear on.
Very cool. So I have to know, how many different pair of sunglasses do you own? I mean, is it just like one pair in the car? And I will tell you that the pair that I have, I have like 4 pair in my car. And we're going to talk about craft beer in a little bit, but I'm a huge craft beer fan. And all of the glasses that are in my car, literally right now, I have one from a tour I did of Jaeger when I was in Europe not that long ago. And then I have 3 pair from 2 different beer festivals that were just like swag that were sitting on brewery tables. So they're pretty low quality, but hey, they work, they get the job done. So how many different pair of sunglasses do you own?
An embarrassing number, really. I would probably need more than 2 hands to count them out on. I like to have a pair to go to the bar in. I like to have a pair to drive in. I like to have a pair to go cycling in. I like to have a pair to go hiking in. I also like to have a pair to go, you know, on the boat with. And I'm also very well equipped. So I have such a vast collection that if anybody wants to come over and they're like, oh no, I forgot my sunglasses, I'm like, wait, no, you didn't. I have them here.
Wait, no,
here you are.
Now wait a minute. You said what sunglasses to wear to the bar? Please tell me you don't wear sunglasses at night. Like, don't support that.
No, actually, we have a gold pair that I like to wear at night. So yeah.
All right. I will now allow and when I wear my Jaeger sunglasses to the bar tomorrow night when I get off work and it's like 7:30. I mean, it's dark at like noon here now with daylight savings because we don't participate in daylight savings time here in Arizona, but I'm just going to tell them that you guys definitely promote me wearing sunglasses at night. So what happens if I get a pair of sunglasses and I get them and maybe I didn't have the chance to try them before and I just go on a whim and I order them online and I get them and I don't like them? Is there a return policy? And if so, how does that work for the consumer?
Yeah, so what you can do is then you can take advantage of our returns policy. So our returns policy is, I think we offer, let's see, I'm trying to remember what the threshold is. There's a certain threshold we offer for 2-way shipping / free returns over a certain dollar threshold. And then under that threshold, then all you have to do is just pay like the UPS fee to ship them back to us.
Okay, very cool. So how big of a company is this? I mean, you've got a lot of things going on the website. It looks like it's, I mean, obviously it's a worldwide company. Are there 15 employees or are there 5,000 employees worldwide? How big of a company is this?
That's actually a really good question. As far as I understand the company, we have the headquarters in Italy, and I know that they've got a pretty solid team there. I want to say it's probably less than 30 people, but more than 20. And then there are the different distributors, and there are distributors for every sort of geographic location. So for example, we're the North American distributor. We have an Australian distributor, a Spanish distributor, a Mexican distributor, a distributor in China, that kind of thing. So as far as, and those distributors vary widely in size because sometimes they'll distribute other brands as well. So our company, Rudy Project, the North American distributors here, we are probably about 30 people. And our marketing and PR is based in Denver, and that's an office of 6 of us. And then there is another office in San Clemente, California, which is where all our shipping, fulfillment, customer service operations is out of.
Very cool. So as I mentioned before, you guys are huge on social media. Like, it's obvious that you guys know what's going on with digital marketing. So one, what sort of growth have you seen because of social, and how important does social play into your digital marketing strategy? I'm a digital marketing guy, so I get that. And 2, who in the company owns the social media? Like, if I'm tweeting you, which I did, and I hope to get a response and or a retweet, who is owning that and who is responding on behalf of the company?
So as far as our social media growth and what that's done for the company, I really think what it's done is I think it has helped solidify our audience. And I think it's also really helped other people share how much they love the gear. So Rudy Project, we tend to make a joke that we're the best gear brand you've never heard of. We're not some of our larger competitors. We really are a relatively small company, but we have, because of our audience, because of the people that love our gear, that are just these like die-hard Rudy fans that have had the same pair of sunglasses for 15 years, and they keep coming back and getting new lenses, and then they just love them over and over again. Because of them, we really see a lot of positive mentions and a lot of positive press on social media. So that's been really important for our brand. Social media is a really big advocacy platform for us. And we've definitely seen people, if somebody, says something slightly negative, we see people, without us even having to step in, we see people responding and saying, responding for us and advocating on our behalf. And we love seeing that. And we also love seeing our gear in action. So it's actually really positive for us, because we get to see, these amazing athletes doing amazing things every day in our gear. And that's really important for us. As far as who manages and who's directly responsible for our social media, that is myself and another woman that works here, a woman named Riley. And she and I are in charge of all of our social media platforms. So when it's somebody messaging you on Facebook or responding to a customer service complaint on Facebook, or a direct message or a tweet on Twitter, it's Riley and I.
Very cool. So then, wink, wink, hit that retweet. I'm kidding. Now, out of all of the questions that I had, and like I said, I had a bunch, and Eat Sleep Golf had a bunch. This was almost exactly the exact same question. So you have a lot of pro athletes wearing your products. Does that include any PGA or LPGA tour players? Because almost every tour player on both sides of that coin, and there's the European Tour and the Ladies European Tour. There's tons of tours out there. So do you have professional golfers wearing these products, these classes?
We have, yeah, so golf is still an expanding market for us. It's definitely somewhere where we see ourselves having a lot of growth in the next couple years. We do have one golfer named Eduardo Molinari, and he's an Italian golfer. His claim to fame is that he was the first Italian to win a U.S. amateur championship. So he's kind of our big kind of poster child for golf, and that's other than that, we actually don't have any major golf athletes wearing our gear. Which is interesting, because we've won the PGA Tour Partners Magazine Members' Choice seven times since 1998. So we definitely have some recognition in the industry, and we are also an eyewear supplier for the U.S. Golf Teachers Federation. So we're in the industry, and we're kind of on the fringes. And as our social media presence grows, and as we see more people find our gear and learn to love it, then we continue to see that grow.
Okay, so I'm not winning professional or even amateur events, but if you ever want to like add a weekend hack section, I would be more than happy to support your glasses. So just know that, because I need a pair apparently, because I broke my pair.
Right, thanks.
Now, how do you choose?
Yeah, of course.
There's a ton of distributors. Like, I'm talking every corner of the globe. How do you choose a new distributor, and how do you decide if you continue to work with the distributors that you have?
You mean in terms of Rudy Project distributors?
Yeah.
I mean, we are the North American distributor. So I think our relationship with the headquarters in Italy is really positive, because we like to call ourselves a super distributor, because what we tend to do is we have a lot of input into the product and the product design, and we get a lot of that from our athletes and from people that are wearing the gear. So we like to think that because we're really well educated, and because we're working with the gear all the time, and we've got a huge numbers of people working with the gear and training in it, that we're not just a distributor. We are essentially part of the brand, and we're advocating for the brand constantly.
Very cool. So I didn't tell you before we went live that this half an hour was going to fly by, and it has. We literally only have 2 minutes left. And like, I honestly could sit here and talk about sunglasses all day. And because of the fact that I knew nothing about them really before you and I talked. I mean, the fact that I'm going to forget the name of them. What did you call them? Arms? Something? What did you saw?
What did I call what?
The arms. You called them
Oh,
something.
temple arms.
Temple arms.
Temple
like
arms.
I'm 33 and I've never heard that until tonight, and now I'm like embarrassed.
Yeah,
Frames
because they go in your temples. And so,
yeah, good point.
yeah.
Right. Now,
what's really cool about these is all of ours, they bend, so you can like see how they're like super straight.
Yeah, don't bend them. You'll break
they
them.
Have wire in them, so
That's
they just
crazy
bend.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And so you can adjust them to your face.
Okay, now real quick before we go into the back nine. Now, any like, and this is totally random. I know nothing about the sport. Last night I was having drinks with a friend of mine who is obsessed with F1 and Formula racing and just I don't know. I don't get it, but being from Italy and the whole company side of things, I'm sure that there are some race car drivers wearing them. Do you have Formula One or NASCAR drivers that wear? And I don't even know if they wear sunglasses. I mean, they're going 250 miles an hour. Like, do you have any relationships with professional sport, like race drivers, or?
That's an excellent question. I can't remember any of their names off the top of my head, but I can definitely tweet them at you later if that helps.
It does.
But yeah, they wear them. They wear them when they stand on the podium. So you got to look fly when you're accepting your trophy. So they wear sunglasses when they're on the podium.
Okay, I dig that. Now the back nine, and I'm gonna have to yell at the team from Eat Sleep Golf just a little bit because they said you played golf, and it's possible that I misread that tweet because I wrote some questions that were about golf, and I'm scratch that. There is going to be one question about golf because that's asked in every episode of the hashtag Wednesday Match Play. But now the back nine is just 9 fun random questions, not about the product, not about the company. And first off, thank you for coming on the show. This is like literally that flew by, and it was cool to learn more about it. And again, because we had SportRx, and I'd encourage you to go back and watch the SportRx episode because it's so similar but yet so different because they've got similar technologies, but it's just and they're based in San Diego, and it's just a totally different vibe, but yet the same arm and the same concept. So now you're back nine. Let's get started. And I usually ask folks if they're ready, and I'm going to stop doing that because you don't really have a choice. So you're ready because it's here it comes. Now, you said that you like to hike, and I live in Scottsdale currently. I'm getting ready to move to a place that's about as flat as this tabletop. But in Scottsdale, we have mountains everywhere. There's one right over there, and there's one over there, and there's one behind us. Have you ever hiked mountains in Scottsdale, Phoenix?
I have not, no, but I've hiked a 14er in Colorado and a bunch of mountains in Montana.
No, wait a minute. 14er? What does that mean?
It means it's a mountain that's 14,000 feet high.
That's pretty simple. I expected you to say that, but the highest I got was probably 8-ish, a little over 8. There's a mountain here I wouldn't say I'm a hiker per se, but I figure it out, and I had a hiker with me who stopped, and I kept going, and it was about, I'd say 8,000. I started like at the top. I was like, all right, I can't really breathe. Let's go down now. So I know you don't golf, but you have to know a little bit about the PGA Tour. Who is your favorite tour player? And if you don't have one, feel free to say Tiger, because Tiger is my favorite golfer, and he's above me here. And there's starting to be things coming off the walls because I'm moving, so that this is going away eventually. But that being said, who is your favorite PGA Tour player? And if you don't have one, say Tiger.
Let's see. It would probably, my guess is, I mean, I'm a big fan of women in the sport. So, and I think I just heard about a really famous Korean golfer. I honestly can't remember her name.
Lydia Ko.
What was her name?
Lydia Ko. She's up and coming. She's pretty famous.
That sounds familiar. Yeah. So I would have to say her.
Okay. Well, the LPGA Tour, and this is a little selfless plug for Tiburon Golf Club, the club that I am taking a position at and start at on Monday of next week, as a matter of fact. The CME Tour Championship, which is their season-ending event, is at Tiburon. Lydia Ko will be there. And then a couple of weeks after, the PGA Tour is there for the Franklin Templeton Shootout. Lexi Thompson, who is an LPGA Tour player, is the first ever LPGA participant to be invited to play in the shootout. So there's that little segue. See, I have to work Troon in there somewhere, and now I get the ability to work in Tiburon. And the next episode, next week, next Wednesday, I don't know where I'm going to be, but chances are I'm going to be somewhere in Naples, Florida, because I'm leaving on Saturday morning to start my new position at Tiburon. So this Tiger being behind me won't happen next week necessarily. So you said you like to ride bikes. What is the furthest you've ever ridden a bike start to finish?
Furthest I've ever ridden a bike from start to finish was 62 miles.
I got bored driving home from work, and I live 12 miles from the office. So bravo. I appreciate that. Good for you. I don't think I could do that. You brewed a beer, and it's with a pretty well-known brewing company. Total segue. You live in Denver. You brewed a beer. You told me a little bit about it, but tell me more about that. What was it? How'd you get connected to that? Like, just talk to that whole experience.
So I grew up in Fort Collins, and I used to live there. So while I was living there, I won a contest to be brewer for a day at a brewery called Fort Collins Brewery, and it's a great brewery, one of the sort of like big breweries in Fort Collins. And the beer that I got to brew was Red Banshee, and Red Banshee is a red ale, and it took, I think, an entire Saturday to brew it, and then I got to drink it 2 or 3 weeks later. So that was pretty fabulous.
To your point about how long it takes to brew it, the first time I did it, I've done 2 home brew batches, and I was like, cool, let's brew a beer, let's get drunk and have fun. 8 hours later, and I'm drunk, and I'm thinking, wow, this is really hard. Imagine doing that on the scale of somebody like a Fort Collins. So bravo to you and bravo to them for having been able to do that. And did it taste as good as you expected it to after having brewed it?
Yeah, I think so. I had excellent help. I had a very good brewer sort of like telling me what to do and how to handle everything. But it was a little bit scary because they had me actually, there's a big kettle that they brew the wort in, and they actually needed me to like go down in that and clean that out. And it's not very big. So that was probably one of the weirder experiences. You're sort of submerged in this like tub, like hosing out sort of, it's all like wheat and sort of like, organic debris, and it doesn't smell great. And so that was kind of a weird experience, but I still had a great time, and getting to drink the beer afterwards was very fulfilling.
That's really cool. So I'm a foodie. What is your favorite restaurant in Denver? And I don't even know if you're going to say something that's local because I've never been to Denver, but what's your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant in Denver is probably this place called Tacos Tequila Whiskey, and they
Sold.
always have right. They always have a taco of the day. Last time I was there, it was a lobster roll taco, and it was phenomenal. And a close second is this place that we go as an office. We go to this restaurant called Sushi Bay, which I am convinced has the best sushi on sort of along this side of the Rocky Mountains. So yeah,
I love all of those things, tacos and sushi and whiskey and sold. I need to come to Denver. So it might be Fort Collins, it might not be, but out of all of the brewing companies that you have access to, what's your favorite in Denver?
My favorite brewing company, as loyal as I am to Fort Collins Brewery, I really think that Epic Brewing, which is based in Denver, and they have a branch in Salt Lake City, I really think Epic Brewing is my favorite. They have an ale called Brainless on Raspberries, which is, and then they also they have a fantastic IPA. So that they've got to be my favorite.
And they have an awesome barrel program too. If you've never seen, they're way overpriced, and you can feel free to tell them that I said that, but I buy them all the time. But what I do, and this is a trick that I found, because they are so overpriced, they will literally sit on the store shelves for so long. They come in 1 or 2 years aged already. I'll let them sit for a season because people don't buy them fresh when they're expensive, and they'll sit there and they collect dust on store shelves. And then a year later, when I'm ready to pull the trigger and I'm going to a tasting or I'm going to an event, cool, here's a 3-year aged beer that's literally been aging on the store shelf just for me. So tell them that they charge way too much for those barrel aged beers, but they are very delicious when I try them. So now you said hops, you said red ale, you said IPAs, we've got stouts, we've got porters, we've got Hefeweizen, there's tons of different styles. What's your favorite style of beer?
My favorite style of beer, I think it depends on the time of year. My favorite style of beer in the winter, especially when it's getting fall-y like this, is a porter. But during the summer, especially right after I get off my bike or right after I've been outside for a bit, it's definitely going to be a saison.
Ooh, I like that. I bought a dry hopped saison today. We just got Prairie Artisan Ales finally being distributed to Arizona, and Modern Times from San Diego. Both started being distributed to Arizona today, and I move on Saturday. So awesome. Thanks, guys. Better get to Florida really quick. Now, to that point, you talk about fall. What is fall like? Because we go from really hot to hot here in Arizona. So I'm curious what
Mhm.
fall's like.
Well, usually in Colorado it's snowed by now, but it's
Oh,
taking its time.
gross. Moving on.
Um,
Now, I know you're not a golfer, but you have to know the Tiger and Jack conversation. So Jack Nicklaus won and currently has the most majors, and I know Tiger's not won one in a long time, but and if you don't know how to answer this, feel free to just answer yes, because Tiger is above me smiling down on us while I ask this question. Do you think Tiger breaks Jack's record?
I would have to say absolutely.
I love that answer. This might be the best show we've ever had, right? I mean, to everyone watching at home, that right there is the best answer we have ever had. So if you ever want to talk about that so you know why, I could talk for an hour about why he may or may not, but I'm his biggest fan, so he's going to break the record. And your final question of your hashtag Wednesday match play is, what's next for the project? I mean, you've got a lot of stuff going on, but what's next?
As far as what's next, we're looking into 2017. We have on our cycling and triathlon side, we've got a couple new helmets coming up that are pretty phenomenal. But I think for us, I think this is the year where we really start to, where people really start to recognize us. They start to recognize the amazing gear we have, the amazing people we have in our gear. One of our female athletes, this woman named Heather Jackson, she just took third at the Ironman World Championships in Kona. She's the first American female to do so in a decade. And that alone, I think, is fantastic. So we have wonderful people competing in our gear. Hopefully we add a couple of golfers to that roster soon. And I really think that 2017 is the year where everybody is going to want a pair of Rudy Project sunglasses.
I love it. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on the show. This episode is going to be live on YouTube within just a few minutes. It's going to be shared to Facebook and Twitter and all of those fun social networks that you are extremely popular and more successful at than me, because I'm just a small fish in a big pond, and you guys have made a big impact on those networks. But look for it there, and the Google Plus golf community. And speaking of the Google Plus golf community, as a brand trying to get more into golf, if you are on and active on Google Plus, I highly recommend you getting into the community, start posting and start engaging with golfers. There's over 23,000 active members. It's growing every day, and we would love to have a brand like this involved in the conversation. So feel free to do that. And as always, on the hashtag Wednesday Match Play, is you have to remember to eat, sleep, golf.